Want to know how to cook the easiest, tastiest, and inexpensive Yaki Udon dish using only ingredients from Amazon and any ordinary grocery store? Welcome to T-Shirt Cooking, your soon-to-be favorite online cooking show. My name is Matthew, and I'm about to show you how to do just that.
Let's get right to the ingredients. First things first, Worcestershire sauce. Yes, that's exactly how you pronounce it. Afterwards, light soya sauce. Dark is only used for color, so we always use light soya sauce. Ordinary ketchup, any ketchup will do. Refined white sugar, very different than brown. This is the same sugar that you put in your coffee. Next up, oyster sauce. Tastes nothing like oysters, has nothing to do with oysters. Afterwards, white cabbage. Admittedly, this was once green. White onion, can't be red. White onion and red onion cook very differently. Green onion, super important. 3 cloves of fresh garlic, some fresh ginger, some defrosted lean minced beef. It could even be semi-lean, it doesn't really matter. Afterwards, we're looking at pork belly, better known as bacon. 400 grams of pre-cooked udon noodles. Last but not least, carrots. If you watch until the end, I will also introduce to you a top secret ingredient that will stimulate you in ways your partner can't. Let's first begin by using my dollar store knife to slice the bacon into smaller pieces, dirtying the cutting board with meat now so we can clean it right away and have it ready for the vegetables. Make sure to use a non-stick pan and some canola or vegetable oil. What's important here is when you're using minced meat and you put it in the pan, you want to separate it as much as possible so all of that meat water will end up evaporating so you don't end up getting some sort of meat water taste in your food. Unless you happen to like meat water taste, then don't let me tell you how to live your life, do what you want. While the meat cooks, I will begin by cutting the green onion by removing the end and then separating the white and green part. I will save the green part for the final dish. Here you can see me attempting to peel ginger. There's definitely an easier way to do this. I have no clue what I'm doing here. Now we take the ginger and garlic and press them using this apparatus. You're likely better off dicing the ingredients, but I wanted to show off this $4 thing I've had in my drawer taking up space for the better part of a year. Yep, this was a monumental waste of effort for what is likely a poorer result. Next up, we add the white part of the green onion. So this is the bottom part of the green onion since we're saving the top for the end. Afterwards, we'll add the minced garlic and ginger, and we'll let it cook for a bit, and we'll set it aside while we cut some veggies. Next up is the white onion. We're going to cut into larger strips so it remains tender after we cook it. As you can see, I have no clue what I'm doing when cutting onions. This is brutal to look at. Watching this makes me feel worse than that one time I congratulated a woman on her pregnancy. Turns out she wasn't pregnant. Or a woman. To prepare the carrots, we first begin with cutting off the ends, followed by thoroughly peeling them before cutting them into small sticks. This advanced technique will allow them to cook at the same pace as the other veggies. Here I used 80 grams of carrots. Next up, the cabbage. I used 3 leaves here and cut them in bite-sized pieces with my signature $1 knife. You can mix and match any veggies you want in this dish. We turn the heat back on and put the pan to cook just before adding the onions. For 30 or so seconds, we let the onions cook and release some flavor while still remaining tender. Afterwards, we added the carrots and cabbage and proceeded to stir frequently to make sure the veggies cook properly. To prevent the meat from overcooking, make sure you take it off earlier than desired in our previous step, as the meat may continue to cook throughout this stage of the process. Listen carefully here. 2 tablespoons of sugar, 4 tablespoons of soya sauce, 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce, 1.5 tablespoons of ketchup, 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce. Give it a good mix and get rid of that granular sugar at the bottom. I added the room temperature noodles straight to the pan, and the humidity from cooking will separate them nicely. Almost immediately afterwards, we add the sauce and make sure to get it all in there before giving it a good mix. At this time, you may decide to add optional toasted sesame oil if you wish. However, we decided not to do so to keep this simple and inexpensive. Remember that this portion is for 2 hefty plates, but you could always manipulate the quantities and serve accordingly. If you found literally any part of this video interesting and or educational, please share, like, subscribe, but more importantly, give it a try. Alright guys, we have finally come to the time of tasting. Thank you for still being here. So the first thing I'm going to do before eating is I'm going to take some of that green onion. Remember the bottom half, we used it to cook. The top half, we saved it because we're going to use it as topping. So I'm just going to reach over here outside of the camera shot and just sprinkle a few. You don't even know if this tastes of anything. It might just be aesthetic, but I like it. It adds some green. Why not? If you're wondering why I'm not using chopsticks, it's because I only had one set and one of the sticks broke and I refused to spend $10 on a single set. Wow, this tastes even better than all the other times. It must be the mix of mincemeat and bacon. You could also use shrimp. However, we don't have the budget for that right now. This show doesn't make any money. If ever it does happen to make us money, I promise I'm going to remake this episode and we're going to be using shrimp. Wow, they're solid. Yeah, this is solid. It's pretty good. Wow. Wow.
Wow, this is really good. This is so good, I think I'm just gonna take off my pants. Wow. Do you remember earlier when I said I was going to be mentioning a secret ingredient that almost nobody mentions when they're making yaki udon? Well, here it is. And it's called beni shoda, maybe? Beni shoga? I don't really know the real terminology for it. However, when I went to the Asian supermarket, they told me that this is what I would need to put. I've never tried this before. Everybody says to put this on your yaki udon. I'm gonna try right now in real time for the first time. Let's see if it tastes just as good as it smells. Not sure how much of this I'm supposed to be putting. So let's just start with this.
I forgot to mention, but this can be used on many different recipes and cost me $4.
This is really good with pickled ginger. It gives like definitely a much stronger ginger taste, but it's different. All right guys, I'm gonna finish this. Everything was really good here. There's not much to clean anymore. While it was cooking, I was able to load the dishwasher, or I was able to even clean some things by hand. What makes this recipe super easy is that even a beginner could do it like myself. I don't know what I'm doing in the kitchen, let's be honest, and I'm using very, very inexpensive tools. So if someone like myself can make it and it tastes this good, you can too. If you have different variants of this recipe, please let me know. Do you use maybe different proportions? Do you use different noodles? Are you using different veggies? Tell me what you're doing. Maybe I'll try it in one of my other videos. Thank you for watching.